What up? Today we are reviewing Dababy's new album, Baby on Baby 2. Let's get it. Right off the rip, Dababy goes in on his Dababy type shit. He's on those hard ass beats, what you expect from Dababy. The intro goes pretty hard, followed up by a pretty solid track right after that. And then obviously we gotta talk about the third track on the album, Boogeyman, where within the first 30 to 40 seconds of this track, you were getting told that Dababy smashed Meg Thee Stallion the day before she accused Tory Lanez of shooting her. That is just wild. So he follows up Boogeyman with the track Socks that has a little bit of an intro of a phone call asking if someone's alert. And that track goes hard. He instantly just starts talking about how he talks shit like his mama. He ready for a hit like his pops. Later in the track, he mentions, I fucked your bitch, now she a squirter now. Shit's hard. Then he follows that track up with No Condom, which actually has a little bit of a different sound so far into this album that I really like. It's not him so much on his normal type rap shit. He be kind of harmonizing a little bit throughout the track, and I really fuck with it. It's a hard track. It's probably one of my favorites other than Boogeyman, but we'll get into that at the end here. That's followed up by 3 other tracks. You got Some of That, Still, and Act That Hard. Now, Some of That and Act That Hard are your typical Dababy type songs, and then Still is actually a little bit different, and I really fucking like it. There's quite a few songs on this album that I'm really into. Then we got Keep It Cute, One Man Army, and Call of Duty. Now, Call of Duty, once again, just your typical Dababy type song. So if you're a huge Dababy fan, you're gonna fucking like that track. But for me, Keep It Cute and One Man Army, they're different. He's experimenting with some of these songs more than I have seen him do in the past, and I really like that. I like when artists step out of their comfort zone and they experiment. And that's why I would recommend, if you're watching this and you're trying to figure out what tracks to check out off the album, Keep It Cute and One Man Army would be the ones that I would recommend out of some of these tracks. I mean, there's other ones I mentioned earlier that I really liked, like Boogeyman, but these are the songs that I really am personally liking off this album. So just keep that in mind. And that brings us to his final 3 closing tracks. That's Why I Creep, Blank featuring Anthony Hamilton, and Don't Let 'Em Lie. Now, I'll say That's Why I Creep is actually a really great track on here. He ain't gonna like me because I do blogs about hip-hop, so even though I talk some shit about bloggers and stuff, which I get because some hip-hop media outlets, they take shit too far and they bringing up people's families into matters that don't need to be brought up. And then on Blank, the vocals by Anthony Hamilton and just Anthony Hamilton's verse in general is just amazing. So I actually really recommend both those tracks. And then he closed it out with Don't Let 'Em Lie, which is another typical Dababy track. But with that being said, it's Dababy, and he's gonna end his shit talking his shit, and that's what he does. It's a good final track to end out a really well-rounded album. I will say, if I had to give this a rank the album out of a 1 out of 10, I'd give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. There's some tracks on here I'm not too fond of, but for the most part, I will say this is a good album. There's a lot of great tracks on here, and I would say my top 4 favorite tracks on this album are Boogeyman, Socks, Keep It Cute, and I'd probably have to give the other one to No Condom because the shit was fire. But yeah, overall, I give Dababy's album a 7.5 out of 10. It's a pretty well-rounded project. I recommend it, especially if you like some of Dababy's music. It's definitely worth the listen, and I look forward to hearing Meg Thee Stallion's response to the shit he said in Boogeyman. It's going to make me want to check out her track. So stay tuned. Like, comment, and subscribe.